$1 million used to mean yachts, champagne, and early retirement. Now, it might just get you a nice one-bedroom apartment with a microwave that almost works. Not really though, but in this video, we'll be breaking down whether $1 million is still enough to retire. We'll look at the regular age of 60, early retirement at 50, and, super early retirement at age 40. We'll look at different investment returns, actual spending data, and adjust it all for inflation. So let's do the math. To keep this realistic, here's what we're working with. You retire with $1 million invested, you withdraw money monthly, your portfolio grows at 4, 7, or 10% per year, and you live to age 78.4, which is the average US life expectancy. And also, we're going to factor in 3% inflation per year because you know what? Eggs don't cost $2 anymore, and neither does anything else. We'll also test 3 spending levels. We'll say $50,000 a year for the minimalist route. We'll do $77,280 a year, which is the average US household spending per year, and $100,000 a year, aka I like my groceries organic and my coffee with oat milk. Let's start with the most ambitious scenario. So retiring at 40. Anybody doing this, my respect. They're trying to be the main character of their financial story. So here's what you could safely withdraw per year from $1 million. If you're getting 4% annual returns every single year, we've got $51,000. At 7%, $75K. And at 10%, $102,000. Now, adjusted for that 3% inflation, if your spending is $50K a year starting year one, you'll need 6.83% return per year. Now, if you're doing the average US household spending per year, you'll need 10.22% every single year in returns. Now, remember, this is 38.4 years that you need to work with that $1 million. And for that 100K a year spending, you'd be better pulling off 12.74% annually. In other words, unless you're Warren Buffett's long lost nephew, you might want to dial it back. Early retirement at 40 is possible, but you better live lean, earn a little on the side, or pray that the stock market goes on a 30-year bull run, which probably isn't going to happen. All right, now for 50. Still early, still ambitious, but now you've got a shorter retirement to fund of 28.4 years. You could safely withdraw $59,000 at 4% per year. 7% per year performance would be $81,000, and at 10%, $106K. Now, for the spending adjusted for inflation, if you're starting at $50K a year, you only need 5.59% return. Not bad. For the average household spending, you'll need 9.48% per year. And if you want to spend $100K per year, you're back in the stock market ninja territory of 12.26% required per year. But here's the deal. Retiring at 50 is much more doable, especially if you have, low expenses, a part-time gig, running a YouTube channel talking about retiring with $1 million, just saying. Anyways, retiring at 60. Now we're actually cooking. So you'll only need your portfolio to last 18.4 years. Here, this is what you can safely pull. 4%, 77K. 7%, 97K. And 10%, 119K. Now here's the return needed per lifestyle, starting day one, adjusting for inflation. 50K a year, just 2.07%. 77K, 7.04%. And 100K, 10.43%. At this age, you don't need to throw your entire portfolio into meme stocks. A balanced plan can carry you through just fine. And hey, if you've made it this far with $1 million in the bank, you've already won. Also, all of this is based on classic retirement withdrawal math using monthly compounding and inflation-adjusted spending. So we calculated 2 things: how much you can safely withdraw at different return rates, and what return you'd need to match a target lifestyle. You don't really need a finance degree to get this, you just need the right tools and some good coffee. If you've made it this far, you're clearly in that top 1% of attention spans. Go ahead and drop a comment. What's your target retirement age, and what return do you plan for? And if you want more finance content that makes sense and occasionally makes you laugh, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This helps push out the video to new viewers and those that need help and things like this. So, the real question to answer is $1 million enough to retire? Well, yes, but only if you understand what you're asking it to do. So if you're retiring at 60, you're probably good. Retiring at 50, you might need a little bit of spending discipline. And retiring at 40, you'll definitely need a spreadsheet, a side hustle, and maybe a second opinion. Either way, the more the merrier. We don't need to just focus on hitting a number, but focus on building a strategy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.